this very specific fact that the more we remember things, the more we reinterpret memories, therefore remember less accurately. So if you forget about a memory for 10 years, you'll definitely remember it better than if you remembered it every day for 10 years. My name is Selina Latour. I'm a BFA interdisciplinary student at NSCAD, and my focus is in intermedia. So I'm working in a bit of textiles, a bit of painting, and I've just did my first performance for this exhibition called Dutch Impressions. Basically, when I first got to Amsterdam, I was with my twin sister who was studying on exchange from February till June. So I got there in about early May and immediately had this comfort there. I didn't really need to make the effort to meet new people. It wasn't that scary when you're usually moving into a new place because I had this person. But when she left in August, I all of a sudden had this person of comfort taken away, and so this city just all of a sudden felt so foreign to me, and I realized I don't know my way around the city at all. And Felicia ended up visiting me, this is my other sister, for a week in September, because all of a sudden I was this tour guide for my older sister. I started to become obsessed with the color because I began relating it to my childhood and these nostalgic objects that I was thinking about, and all of a sudden I became aware that every bedroom that I'd ever lived in was blue. Small things like that, so it just became this really nostalgic color all of a sudden. So when I first started school, I started painting these blue swatches of memory of all these objects that I had, which kickstarted this project. So there's two paintings, or I guess you would call them paintings, on that wall are portraits, I would call them, of my sisters. The lighter blue is my twin sister, and it's every day for a month I tried to remember her eye color, and kind of was interested in whether I was remembering anything accurately at all, because they're all completely different shades, and it kind of proves that our visual memory is quite poor. And then the other one is my older sister, Felicia. My initial idea for the sweater first came from my studying of Dutch language, and I was trying to translate them in English, as an English understanding. So listen to it and hear English words, if that makes sense. So I really love the word bloemen, which means flowers, but as an English person it sounds like blue men if you try and dissect it. Just to my roommate, I was like, I want to become a blue man. And I didn't know what that meant or why I was doing it, but I just decided to knit a giant sweater. And I filmed that one late afternoon with my roommate. Her name's Yara, and it was a really nice experience because the first time we did it, we laughed incessantly because it's really uncomfortable and really awkward moving with this other body. But the second time we did it, it was this very cleansing and poetic gesture, and I remember feeling so close to her after doing that. So that was a really interesting process in itself. Looking back now, I think it was this subconscious yearning for another person, because I was quite lonely when my sisters left. And maybe I can talk about this piece, but this is a performance I'm doing all week. I'm just building up my memory map of Amsterdam, and it's something I did while I was in Amsterdam, and I'd explore a different route every day and then mark it on my map. So it was a really lengthy process of trying to figure out how everything connected. So in doing it a second time on the wall, it's equally interesting because I find myself I'm depending more on the memory of the map that I made than my actual memory of the city. As I'm doing this map, I have these moments of wow, did this really happen? Did I meet these people? It feels like I'm making this up. It's like a film that I watched that I'm remembering or something. So there's that weird relationship right now where I feel kind of like an observer of these memories and not like I took part in it for some odd reason. Actually, it was something I never anticipated doing until I took this course. It was my first year of NSCAD called Radical Forms, and I started making video work with these performative gestures in it, and I remember my teacher really pushing me towards performance. So I didn't actually realize that until this year, because I think I'd always been scared of it. But while I was away on exchange, it was something that I kind of wanted to push myself to do, because it was this ultra scary place, an ultra scary experience. So I think it was the one opportunity that I thought would like push all those fears away. And once I did it in that one scary place, I could do it again anywhere. Yeah, blue is this familiar thing among everything that was unfamiliar. So thinking back to my sisters and home. So.